I think we're live. Hi,
Hi,
guys.
everyone.
It's Mystic Sisters. Today is the last day in February, February 28th, 2026. And it's time for Mystic Sisters Live. Oh my gosh, what a freaking week. I didn't even do a banner. We were talking. I'm like, oh my gosh, we've got to go live. But like, it's just like WTF the whole week. It's been crazy.
Well, it's been crazy since January. Actually, it's been crazy since December of
I know. I know.
2024. But we're not going to go back that far.
Last day in February. Hi, everybody. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Mary, Christine. Hi, you guys, Terry and Kathy. Thank you guys for coming in. I know you're feeling kind of like, and I'm feeling like, how are we going to turn this train wreck around a little bit tonight? Because it's a tough night to process everything that your neurons have been challenged to do today. So we're going to do our best. And if you watch Time Out with Giblets last week and he had his little issue, he actually had a cyst and he's fine. Except he wants some attention right now.
Well, that's usual. So you know he's fine because he's acting as usual.
We chased each other around the little peninsula here, and I'm trying to get him tired. It's too windy to go out there. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
You can hear. Oh no, that's the siren. Let me get his little like chew thing. And I have pajama pants on, by the way.
Oh,
You know,
well, at least you have pants on.
you know what?
I have pants on too, so don't worry in case I have to get up real quick, guys. So, yes, it was a hell of a week. As many of you know, on my end of the world, we had a pretty vicious nor'easter with hurricane force winds and about 30 inches, 36 inches, depending on where you were. And I lost electricity here for about 3 days, 3.5 days. And so no electricity means, although we have oil heat, it has to ignite. So it has an electric igniter, so you can't go ignite your tank, right? Um, no warm water because that also gets ignited. Uh, um, no heat, no. But we have fireplace, and that was good. And we have a parrot. Like if it was just me and Michael and the cat, we could have stayed at maybe family who still had electricity, and even maybe the cat would have been okay because he's got a fur coat and all that stuff. Not that I would ever leave him, but when you have a macaw that sounds like a pterodactyl, there isn't any family who loves you enough to take you in, and even pet-friendly motels, frown at bringing a pterodactyl as a pet,
Yeah,
especially with those big beaks, and they'll just go around and like take pieces of your furniture apart if you let them. So
yeah.
it's a little bit of but it was
It's more of a liability for the hotel to do that. They probably would charge you so much more money,
yeah,
or
probably two extra people in the room or something.
they do just because they have to do like a deep clean.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I don't blame them. I mean, if I went into a pet friendly hotel, I would want it to smell like it wasn't pet friendly, right?
Well, you could be the one that's allergic.
Well, then
You
you
know,
don't go to a pet
next
friendly
best.
hotel with your, because if you're allergic at home, you can't, you have a pet. But anyway, not a problem. And I might
Sure.
add a first world problem. Um, but yeah, so we're all set. We got our electric on Thursday, and we're catching up. I'm exhausted though. I mean, I didn't do much, but carry firewood, stoke the fire, tromp through the 3 feet of snow that was up to my hip bones to get the shovel so I could shovel out of my house.
Yeah.
in case there was a medical emergency. We had to have a clear path. So, but luckily we got some help. Family came and helped us out with a couple of things. Michael has had his heart issues over the last like month. Last month he had the surgery. So he has to be extra careful. And I just don't have, I just don't have what I used to have when it comes to tackling such things. So I
That's
have to,
why I live where I live.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm done shoveling. So I got the townhouse where we had a snow removal service. And here I'm like, I'm not shoveling. I'm not doing that again. There's no way.
And a view, and a beautiful view to boot. A beautiful view
Yeah.
to boot.
Somebody else can shovel. I can't anymore. It's not fun.
Yes. Yeah.
We did used to make snow
So
sculpture. That was fun.
now, Ona and I, you made a snow sculpture? Is that what you said?
And I used to was in front of our house and in Old Irving Park every year we made it. We had like a drunk bear. We had a Buddha. We did like a whole thing for the neighborhood. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was like the fun times, like the fun things we did.
And it was great snow here. It was great snow for snowmen, but I didn't go out just to do the few little things I had to do. But of course, you come in the house, you couldn't get warm. So, I mean, I guess when you shovel, you're warm. But then you come in and you're like, ooh, let me warm
You're
up.
wet. You're sweating when you shovel.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I can't do that anymore.
So there's a lot of consternation out there, which is understandable. We we knew it was going to. I mean, we have plenty to talk about. If what happened today hadn't happened, we'd still have plenty to talk about. Um, but you remember that a lot of things get done to keep our attention away from certain other things. So I think we need to keep that in mind. We also need to keep in mind that there's a certain amount of ineptitude that, maybe normally had, some other person been in charge and we did an aggressive action like we did today. And the whole, like, the usual stuff would happen with the leader. And even if we don't want to go to war, we end up going to war. But this guy it's a different kettle of fish. And it's easy to go down to the catastrophification of everything. And, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be the thing that, starts it all and it's the end and this, that, and the other thing. But there's nothing I can do about it.
No, I think you're right. The catastrophization of it's a measuring tool, right? It's how are you going to respond to this? It's this story. We don't know a lot, but it's getting us emotional.
With all this Aries energy, Saturn and Neptune and Aries and the eclipse,
the full moon.
I looked at the chart of the strike on Iran, and the chart that got most activated was actually the chart of the United States, not the chart. Well, and Trump's chart was activated as well, but the U.S. chart was charged because we have Mars sitting on our moon today, and so we're mad. We're mad. We're mad because we don't want to see this bullshit again.
Right.
We don't want to see this bullshit. For what? And this guy, like, for what? For who?
We also knew this was going to happen. So what did you do to get ready?
Yes.
We knew this.
Yeah.
You do. We're just waiting for the next retaliation.
This was an inevitable thing. I mean, honestly, a lot of what's been going on in the Middle East should have been stopped. Or, I mean, we could talk about Gaza, we could talk about what happened in Lebanon, we could talk about all the horrible things and the really scary stuff, people's phones blowing up and stuff. I mean, that could as easily be us as it is them. We all have phones. It's not like they get special phones, right? So we have to, if we allow this to fester within us, we'll attract that energy. And instead of utilizing all your beautiful creative power to fear, we need to change it and transform the energy, because the energy is there and it changes form. Change it into the energy of creation and concentrate, because this will be over at some point, and we're going to have to rebuild, and not just the country, but the way that we react and interact with other countries. I mean, why would anybody trust us? The only reason people, I think, even trusted us even a little bit was because of the aid money and the soft power that we had. Well, the morons in Dogeland, like they messed that whole thing up. Years and years and years and years of work, and now we have this crazy guy who's going anywhere he can pick a fight, right? So, and I know that somebody is in Egypt right now, and
I'm
she's
just looking
afraid.
at the comments because I'm
Yeah.
not sure. We might have a little troll here, so I'm going to delete.
Yeah, it might be, but if in case, I just want to put this out there, if in case you are in a situation where you are closer to harm, if you're in the Middle East or something like that, or on vacation, just follow what they
And
say.
watch your airports right now. I don't know how to tell you to sort of keep yourself sovereign, because we go over all these techniques all the time, but just, be aware that, if you're traveling, make sure you're safe, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So Sandra's from Canada, and she's upset that her prime minister went along with Trump on this. Trump, the prime minister, Stammer, I think their prime minister might be Stammer. They're all in the same game. They're all in the same game. So, some are much nicer than others. Some are criminals, and some are just, sins of omission, perhaps, right? They don't tell you everything, right? But it's all the same system. And until the system is, in a way, breached, and in my opinion, the breach of the system would be to bring the feminine in and to stop all this crazy ass wanting to kill each other and kill ourselves and kill our children.
Yeah.
And kill our future.
I think,
What I say to that?
There's a good flow or idea of questions that say, is this more of an Operation Epstein diversion than the inflated emotionality of it, right? Let's see. Let's pull a card. You got to pull a Mystic Sisters card. Oh my God.
Well, before I do that, I just want to mention that last week we got Sage Goddess, which is about clearing the space. So I was convinced that I was going to do a big cleanup this week. But you need a vacuum cleaner to do that. So that didn't happen. And then after 6 o'clock, you couldn't see a damn thing except for the fireplace. So the cleaning did not happen in my house. But what happened is, because I spent so much time looking into the fire, that what got cleansed was my mind. My mind actually got cleansed. It was like everything that all you guys are feeling right now, because you're paying attention to the news. I was there, I was doing all of that, and then the lights went out.
Right.
And the only thing
we had forced to shut it down. You're like, okay, I can't listen to this. Like, I can't. I
couldn't listen because I didn't have electricity to listen,
right?
And it all came down to the most elemental level, which is fire. And fire is spirit. and Mars and Saturn and Neptune in the first degree of Aries conjunction, and I spent 3 days gazing at the fire.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the energy right now. It's the energy of rebirth. We are being reborn, but there's still a lot of flotsam and jetsam around. We have to
Yeah.
get through this
Yeah.
to another side, to another way of doing things. And if we perseverate on the past and how the past has always gone, I think that we'll just relive the past, honestly.
See, you're still answering the question I asked you yesterday was what is the most important thing you learned from this like 3 days and 3 nights kind of thing? Because it's like it's going to have its symbols and it's a newer story today. You're like, yeah, I know why I did
It was
it.
our 3 days of darkness,
Yeah.
which is the amount of time that Jesus was in the grave and then rose
Hello.
up and rose up again, right? The 3 days. 1, 2, 3. Three's a charm. Mother, maiden, crone. To Trinity. It's all symbolic. And we're moving into a 3 month as of
Yeah.
tomorrow. And so we have that 3 energy coming in, and we start with, we started this month with a full moon. Remember?
No, I know.
And we're ending it actually with Venus and Mercury today, conjunct in Pisces.
Yeah.
Which is really about a heart and mind coming together. Heart and mind coming together.
You know, one of the symbolisms or trees for that full moon was ash. I don't know what you lit in your house, but you got enough ashes to make
ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Yeah, I've been watching all the celebrities running around with their cross, their and like I don't know, you and I we were Catholic, right? So we did the Catholic thing.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever get like a real cross, or did they just smudge you because they didn't have the artistic ability to make the two things?
But the priest had a giant thumb. He just pressed your head.
Right on your third eye.
He went like this.
Right?
He went like this, and then he slammed he's like, "Get out of here, go!"
Yeah, get out of here, kid. Right,
That's
right on your third eye.
I had a thumbprint, like like a criminal record on my head. I didn't have a cross.
It's symbolic of the rebirth, though.
Okay.
Right, the rebirth. Ashes, dust to dust. Oh my goodness. All right, we got one, guys.
Okay, tell.
I want to open. I want to be ready. Well, it's not Hecate, so that's good.
Me and her. Okay.
Initiation.
Okay.
Ritual, ceremony, and rites. The initiate is on the threshold of a new reality. A magical ceremony is taking place that marks the beginning of a new phase. She may be unrecognizable to herself on the other side. She has reached this moment through extensive study and ultimate surrender. She has earned the sacred rite of passage through determined effort. Drawing this card signifies that an accomplishment has been reached. A transitional period is about to begin. Though change can be uncomfortable and at times disconcerting, you may soon find your new reality feels entirely natural. You have been a dedicated student and have now gained your skills for your new endeavors that require your new endeavors require for success. So you have the skills you need to succeed. It's an initiation. And of course, the biggest initiation.
This is my morning draw.
That's what Aries is all about.
Whee! She's having fun. Yeah. That was this morning. I keep doing it because this is how I communicate to my spirit guides. This is how I communicate to my soul. This gives me direction. And I'm like, okay, guess what we're out of today? We were out of diapers. And so was she. She's looking down at herself going, oh my gosh, I'm out of diapers. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And then you pull the card that has the same color pattern. I'm like, I know. That's what she said this morning. Gotta make do. You gotta make do. It's one of those days. You gotta make do with what you have in front of you and make it okay. Right? I do want to pull a card to see if this is an inflated or hyperbolic kind of story to steer the neurons away from the Epstein files. And this is the Bosch deck, so it'll get to the
Perfect for the Epstein file questions. Yes.
nothing
So we
about
have San
Antonio. Hey, did you notice
Huh?
that we haven't heard anything about Bill's testimony also? We didn't see nothing. Did you see something?
No. Well, you can't ask me. It's not fair to ask me because I just got my electric back.
He didn't testify yesterday. I worked today,
Yes,
so
yes. No, I didn't hear anything about it. Well, he testified at home. They went to Chappaqua, where they live, and they went to the house. He didn't come to Washington. So
okay.
I don't know if it's this like because of that, it might not be the same situation where there can be leaking and all this other stuff. So that's what they did, I think, did with Hillary. Or maybe they drug Hillary. No, I think they did it there as well. I think they did it well. We have Texas in the house. We have Ohio in the house. We have California in the house. We have Canada in the house. Hi, everybody. We have southeastern Massachusetts in the house, don't we? Still piled up with snow. Still piled up with snow. But we did have a nice warm day today, so some of it did melt. Oh, my goodness.
Who asked if this was a diversion from Epstein? Yes, this is the Baron of Swords, or the Page of Swords. A story, right? Something to get you depressed or emotionally involved. This is the sin of lust. Okay, look at them where they are. Look at where they are. Okay, in the tent there.
In the red tent.
And the Knight of Swords. So we went from page to knight. For the King of Birds. Look at him eating people alive like his own self and crapping them out like it's nothing. That's how he is. Right? What I have a really sweet story about today. I gotta tell because I cried. I swear to God.
We need a sweet story for today.
I gotta tell this sweet story. Family members were visiting this patient. She's kind of been declining, not eating well. They're there a lot, right? They notice this little man walking by the room, and she goes, "Wait a minute," right? Goes out there, talks to him. It turns out this patient, this little lady that came to visit, used to date Reuben, right? So he comes in the room and he sees her and he picks up her hand and he kisses it.
Oh.
And the daughter had pictures of them when they were dating each other, right? And they love this. And he's a really nice man. It's been like 40 years since they've seen each other. And I was just like bawling, I swear to God. I'm like, I want that story. I want that story.
Well, I think that's Venus with Mercury retrograde, right? In Pisces, sort of bringing up past loves and all
Past
that.
loves. Exactly.
Past loves, yeah.
I freaking witnessed it. It was just crazy.
The interesting thing about that is I'm sitting in front of the fire with my husband, and I started just talking about, well, my old boyfriends. Like, we don't really talk. I mean, like, we don't have anything to hide from each other, so that's not a problem. But, like, I don't bring that up naturally. And my first boyfriend, my first love, recently passed in December. And somebody, probably my next major relationship after him, that I would consider a major relationship, he passed away a number of years ago. I'm outliving them all. And then I had another one that, like I've probably had like maybe 6 significant relationships, and like 3 of them are dead. And I'm only 64,
Yeah.
right? So it's not like I'm 80 and all these guys are dropping dead. But and I had nothing to do with it. I just want to be clear about that. But the fact that it was coming up and I was talking about it, and I was telling Michael, like, oh, I was like, and I was just talking about them as a person. It's stuff that he didn't know. But it was interesting that it all came up when I was looking into the fire. It's like
it really
burning away the past. It was a whole burning away the past kind of thing.
Oh, I would have thrown all kinds of crazy into that fire. I'd had my clay out and doing like clay projects and seeing what happens when you throw it in the fire. I can't exist without like a pen and paper.
And then making it a ceremony of sorts, making it a ceremony. And maybe that's something we can do is, when I remember when when the war broke out in Ukraine, every day I would go and I would light a candle, and I got into the habit of doing that. And I did that probably for a year. And then, of course, these wars never end because they never allow them to end, because then they can't make money off of them. So that sort of fell by the wayside a little bit. But we could do that. We could light a candle for ourselves, for our own spirit, for the spirit to stay alive right within us. And even if because if you might have cats, you're afraid to light a candle because then you don't want to lose a house. But you can get those, the ones with the batteries in them. It's the light that matters.
You can do that. I can only really burn incense. My cauldron's collecting dust. I can't. If I took it to the beach, maybe I could use it, but I can't use it here. So incense is my go-to, and I have an apothecary of it. But I do burn tea lights. I need to clear the energy out all the time. Sometimes I do sigils for the moons. I do a whole thing on the candle and then light it. But my everyday, it's like deodorant. I don't know what to say.
And we have the full moon coming up, Darla.
I know. Tell me about it.
On Wednesday.
Virgo.
On Wednesday, 3/3.
No, it's Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday? Oh yeah, it's Tuesday. I'm sorry. Oh right, it's Tuesday. That's when we have class. Oh, that'll be a spicy class.
Yeah, Tuesday morning at 6:38 your time, 5:38 here. So like Monday night into Tuesday. Oh, we got to do a moonshine. We'll figure that.
We'll do moonshine Monday maybe, or we could do it Sunday. Anytime. Right? Today's Saturday.
I'm working tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. We'll do it Monday.
And it's an eclipse. Yeah, give me a moment. I'm already picking up on this moon. Give me a minute to figure it out, and then I'll have more to talk about as I tune in. Right?
Yeah. The Sabian symbols are pretty powerful.
I got a shit ton of planets in Virgo, so there's a bunch of stuff coming in. When I say like your neurons are in competition, mine are like that all the time. It feels like.
I think this one might be close to your. This one I think is on your Pluto, maybe Pluto Uranus.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know it's not on your Mars because your Mars is like later Pisces. I mean later Virgo, but Pluto and Uranus, it's on Michael's Pluto, Uranus, and his Mars. That's why I was extra nervous about him shoveling.
I know.
He's like, I'm going to go shovel. I'm like, I don't want you to shovel. Oh, just a little bit. He knows his limitations, so he's not one of those kids. No, he's very into self. What is that? Self-protection. No. He wants to live.
Yeah.
He wants to live.
Yeah. And you can't even like get on Facebook Marketplace and say, hey, can somebody shovel my steps? I'll throw $20 at you. You know what I mean? You needed to preserve the electricity.
Yeah,
I mean, what, that's just star anise. Antoinette's granddaughter says, I use star anise. Sometimes I just keep the star anise on the little plate and then I'll tease it into the flame to kind of activate it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would smell nice. Yeah.
It does. It does. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Jenlyn wants to know if you've completely dug out yet. Jenlyn wants to know if you can.
Well, we can get out the side door, we can get out the front door, we can get out the back door to the wood.
Okay.
You can go to the office, but you have to tromp through like 2 feet of snow. So, I mean, we can do it, but
Right.
if we can get to the hospital, or they can get to us, or we can go grocery shopping. That's all I really. That's that I don't have to do anything more complex. I'm grateful that I don't have to go to work every day. Try to, because I've had to do that.
Prioritizing the priorities.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I was talking to Vicky last night. I'm like, what if you were on oxygen? The concentrators, you have to plug it in. You need electricity. You have backup tanks, but if you're on oxygen, you're on it like all the time. So
There might be something where they have like a battery pack for that situation.
I think there
must be something that they have for people like that.
Yeah. Not that we, I mean, it's just it was hurricane. So 31 inches of snow is 3 inches of rain, right? 3.1 inches of rain. In how many hours? You'd be flooded right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Operation Epstein Fury. I'm laughing because it's terrible. It's terrible.
Oh, Saint Salsa Girl. Oh, I like that. Most electric companies have an emergency list you can get on. There you go.
Right. And I know here we have warming centers and things like that. And if you don't have heat and you need to get to a place that has heat, especially, and you're snowed in, they will dig you out and take you to the center.
Yeah.
They will do that. Yeah, here. But this is it's rural in that it's like cranberry bogs all around, but it's still close enough to, you live in the middle of nowhere. That's, or rurally, it's got to be really scary. It's got to be really scary.
Yeah.
So we're being initiated, guys. I remember saying it, maybe, I don't know if it was last week, because last week we had all that fun with the echoing, the echo chamber that we were in. But I remember saying that we're moving through the eye of the needle right now. We're moving through the eye of the needle. And if, in a way, I think if we can see things from a symbolic level, it would be helpful. If you can see it from a symbolic level and then attach it to a trend that you're seeing, it makes it, you have to almost like raise yourself up, and you really have to be careful what you're focusing on. I know it's not about ignoring things, but it's about not allowing things to make you crazy.
Yeah. Extreme Brand says her husband had a HiPAP, or I think you mean BiPAP, which is the, to help you stop snoring, breathe at night, a little pressure oxygen, and they had battery packs.
Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like, what do they do? Okay. That makes sense.
Laura Henderson says she's embraced her crone. I'm loving my 60s with long gray hair and all. I'm struggling a little bit with my 60s, I have to say. I don't like the limitations that I have that I never had before. I'm not really good with limitations anyway. So, so when I push myself too hard, I do feel it, And I
Yeah.
always push myself a little too hard.
I do like a
Oh,
challenge. I do.
somebody did get the cross a couple of times. Well, that's good. I only got the
Way
thumbprint.
down um, on the thing now. Yeah. You know what? I feel like I just turned 61. I feel like it's important that I only perform for myself now and not anybody else. There isn't anybody telling me, no, that hair is too young for you, or this, or however I dress, or whatever I do, that's not age appropriate. I don't care. I really don't care.
Well, you're an artiste, so you have to have a little bit of, a little bit of different, a little bit of like
But really
cutting
more,
edge.
I'm on the, like, there are people that still think that I've missed out on, or that I haven't um fulfilled something because I chose to not have any partner after I got divorced. Like, I'm done with that. And it's not by default, it's by choice. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to do
choice.
that. I don't want to do that again.
Well,
I'm
that's
so
that's
much
just
happier.
another example of the system. I mean, that's an example of the system, right? Like the system dictating what you need when you're self-actualized woman. You know what you need and you get what you need. And if you need a little something something on the side, you'd be able to get that too. So
If I needed to, I
what
could.
is it anybody's,
You
what
know,
is it? As long as
I think the system grooms you to behave a certain way, and then you perform a certain way, even though you don't feel like that might be right for you. You still
well,
are
that's
under performance. I don't feel like I'm performing for anybody but me. If you don't like the way I work, that's how I work, you know? Or I give less of a shit about performing for somebody else, because I just want to do that for me. And somebody in marketing. Jen Lynn's
now.
in the house. Thank you, Jen Lynn, for coming.
Hey, Jen.
Talking about, yeah, like this is a very Sophia moment in Jungian theory, right? That you don't need a man, you don't need somebody else to keep you. You are well kept in and of yourself. And that is that second Saturn return, sort of like, this is what I learned from it, right? That's the realization, is like, yeah, I got it. That makes sense. I'm a Sophia. I don't have to
Um,
do this for anybody.
we do have somebody whose son was deployed today at 2 a.m. and they're wondering if they will make it home safe. So
Um,
I did pull cards on that. I did pull cards on that, and I'll show you what I got. I got the victory card,
oh yeah, honey.
the 5 of Wands. That's the battle. The 6 of Pentacles. This to me almost feels a little bit more like an extortion thing than it does an actual war. Like I don't really think he's all that interested in going to war with Iran, but I think he's interested in getting some money or getting some resources from Iran. Having the higher ground, so your child will have the higher ground, and then the sword of truth comes. So I would say yes, he's going to be okay from those cards. From those cards, um, Congress hasn't declared war. Not that they ever do, anyway. I mean,
No. but they're supposed to. And that's why I feel like
Well, we'll see. We'll see. They're supposed to. We're
got him.
talking about breaking down the system. We'll see how well they do. And if they do, then they're going to get broken down because nobody wants this.
Right.
Nobody but people who maybe have investments in arms want this,
Yeah.
or oil, I guess.
We'll see how this, how this sort of pans out and how we sort of alter our response to it or not, because this is an effed up year.
Well, it's a 1 year. It's about planting seeds. Not every seed planted this year will grow to fruition. We get to select next year what ones, you know how when you put all the seeds in and then you take the plants and you have to sort of, the weaker ones, you have to pull out the weaker ones so the ones that are stronger can grow. That's
Yep.
going to be next year. 2027 is an 11 year. It's a choice year.
I feel like it's the Wheel of Fortune year, right?
This year is the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah.
Right. So I think about the direction. It's just a card of directionality. It doesn't have any kind of concrete advice. You got to sort of, you're lucky or you're not, depending on what direction and stuff around it. So it feels a lot like that, They sticking with one directionality, how are you going to process all of this?
I don't think you can actually. I don't think you can process everything. But I think what we can do is that we can pick the one thing in our own lives that's going to make the world a better place and do it.
Yeah.
Period. That's what you got to do. What's going to make them? Is it teaching? Is it creating? Is it sitting with your neighbor and quelling their fears? Is it making the best cup of tea, the best cuppa you ever had and sharing it? What is it that you need to do? And we have to, and it's moment by moment. We are in the present moment. This is where all creation happens. So let's start creating the world we want to see instead of worrying about the world that's leaving us anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're trying,
I know, me too.
Somebody said something about passive indifference, that it feels more like a, when you're like, feels like a passive indifference. But I think you have to learn a little bit of that.
Well, of the things you can't change, we cannot change what happened in Iran. It was going to happen. If we torture ourselves over
it, yeah,
right, then they win. And you know what I say to that? F them.
Mm-hmm. No, this is where you can't get emotional about it, right? And it's really hard. You're like that, because that is the part that pulls you in a conversation. Once they find that emotional thread, they've locked you in. So it's to stay emotionally distant, is to meter. They're seeing what is the reaction. Because they're just throwing stuff out there, very inflated language, because we're on a detour right now, right? If you go drive down that road so many times, when there's a detour, you still know the main road and its traffic pattern. Once they fixed it, you still know what's going on down that road. So we're on detours every day, and we can't find this main path. Yeah, you can. It's there.
The fact that we did this, of course, it was planned. So we can't really put all our eggs in they planned this as a distraction, but it is a distraction. It is a distraction.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's a deadly distraction, and the people suffering are the people who did nothing.
That's interesting, because the timing of it, the slow release, the slow walking of the files and this occurring, like you said, was planned. I'm like, yeah, it was planned. Makes me think that's why they have always slow walk this stuff, because once it gets a little heated, then there's something else that's going to happen. And now we know a little bit more than I don't think we're ever going to see these whole files ever. I never held on to that. My expectations were so low. I'm not disappointed.
I wasn't.
What's the matter?
Oh my goodness. Oh. So I'm just checking the, Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is going to be special because, Mercury in Pisces is in its nature confused.
I know.
And going direct, right? Going direct. It's like all over the place. It's very, Pisces is about boundarylessness. And when you have a Mercury in Pisces, sometimes your mind is like one giant boundaryless sea of whatever, confusion, creativity, whatever. And what the retrograde does is it points Mercury in the direction of the opposite sign, which is Virgo, which is a sign that it rules. And so this is a time of deep discernment. We need deep discernment. And Mercury's in Pisces for about 6 weeks. It was in Pisces all of February. It's going to be in Pisces all of March, and it's going to go out of Pisces in April 14th. So that's like
the North Node is hanging out in there too.
The North Node, and we've had the Sun and Venus on the North Node in Pisces already come through. We're going to have Mars go over that point. So it's going to be very confusing anyway, right? But with that Mercury retrograde, we need to discern what it is that we are going to allow in our field.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So please, everyone, I know that everybody's upset and everyone has the right to be upset, but don't consume too much of it. Don't consume too much of it. It's not going to be healthy.
But recognize, you know what, it's kind of unavoidable. At least recognize that this is a grooming technique, that they're looking for an emotional response, and they will continue to until you respond emotionally. They'll just keep going and going. So Joanne wants to know, WTF, is Ayatollah Khomeini really dead? We could
Is the Ayatollah. It's not Khomeini. It's something that sounds like that. But
is Khameni. It's spelled differently. It sounds kind of the same, and I'm not.
Well, you're Persian. You're a little rusty on your Persian.
I'm a rusty Persian. You know what though? I dated a Persian guy. Okay, and the food was phenomenal.
I think they're beautiful people. They're some of the most beautiful people. When I was in college, we had a lot of Iranian students, and I was a science major, so I was with all the engineers because they would take physics. I'd take physics with them. I'd get D's, they'd get A's, but that's okay. I didn't care. Oh my goodness.
I remember, like, he had a rug that I'm like, you should hang it on a wall and not on a floor. I like little details on like the cool pieces that he had and the food. I just got a little, got a little into the culture there. Let me get this dog.
Okay.
You don't think he's okay? He's okay. Oh, poor Jimmy. Oh, he's got a pimple on his asshole.
Hey, I'd be grumpy if I had a pimple on my butt too. Let's be real here.
I got a cute picture of him in his sitz bath.
Poor giblets. All his dirty laundry is coming out on the internet.
It's old dog maintenance stuff. You know what's going to happen. So, is he really dead? I don't know if this is the best deck, but I don't know what he looks like, but he's older, right? He doesn't have any
Had a big white beard.
black hair. It's white, right? Okay.
I think a little gray, but mostly white.
Okay. I see. Okay. Yeah, guys. Specifically, him was important for whatever they need to do, right? So I got 8 of Cups walking. Oh, I almost chewed on this. What'd you get? What was that
Death.
first one?
No, that was the last one. Death. Death.
8 of Cups. Walking away. The moon. I don't think he knew it was coming. And then 2 of Pentacles. So more than one? Was there more than one? And I don't know the hierarchy of that whole thing structure, I guess, but there was more than one. Or that's how they got their balance back, their money back. I don't know. This is kind of crazy, right?
I almost
Yes.
feel like there was a price on this guy's head.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me, that there was a price on this guy's head.
So, Lemmy, what did you get?
I got the 3 of Cups to start. So celebration, crossed by the King of Wands, which could have been him. That could be a religious leader. Underneath, I got the Knight of Pentacles, which makes me think that somebody coming with money or some sort of offering. In the past, I get heartbreak. But of course, there's been all kinds of a betrayal. Oh, it might be somebody in his own cabinet. It might be somebody in his own cabinet. Whatever that is. I don't know how that works over there, but somebody, like you said, somebody, another monkey. In the sky, we have having the higher ground. In the immediate future, victory. So I'd say if the point was to kill him, he's dead. How it's seen, a money thing.
Yeah.
Domestic situation.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good on the ground.
Shooting a load before the Knight of Swords, just like swinging the sword around.
Going in and creating chaos. Yeah. But there's going to be a lot of chaos there. Well, there is a lot of chaos there already, right? I mean, they've been having things. Hopes and fears, the King of Swords, which is hopefully that it's, legal. Well, that's not legal, but that it's for the better or, karma. Then I got the 9 of Wands, and then I got the Death card. So he might have known that there was a chance. And so he might have gone out with some of his, whoever was there to protect him.
There will be no SEAL Team 5 on Netflix in a couple of years on this one. There won't be.
So it does look like he has.
It's, you know what, with like drones and bombs, like I think about Pentacles, it could be a bombing, targeted, wands, anything. But yeah,
well, it was a missile strike, right? It was Israel and the United States, right?
Yep.
In different places too. Tehran, it wasn't just in one place. There were a number of places, and who knows, like maybe the revolution or the people who want to shift things in Iran might be in cahoots with either the United States or Israel. I don't know. I mean, that could be something too. So, I mean, it could be anything. It's almost, this sounds like terrible when I say it almost doesn't matter, because that's not really what it's about.
Yeah.
What it's about is our own rights to ourself. I mean, women, if your hair is sticking out of your turban or your cap, you can get beheaded in that country. So
That's
the
crazy.
fact that that guy is gone in a way is good. The way he went out was bad, but I don't know if we can always pick and choose. Like we have to go with the flow of it and see what the flow is, instead of like, I mean, you want to take the side of the good. We want to take the side of, but sometimes bad things happen before good things. I don't know. I have no answers. Obviously, I have no answers.
We can't seem to stay out of that, pool. So it's going to be like we've been here before.
Well, that's the problem.
We've been here before. We didn't learn.
We've been here over and over and over again. The difference is that, in a way, the difference is that people realize that we're full of shit now because we have moron in charge.
We have, yeah, exactly. Now we're more vulnerable because we have incompetent people making big decisions, which is pretty freaking scary, honestly. Oh my gosh. It's going to be okay. I have to hear myself say that out loud. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, when I give these pep talks about being in the moment and all that stuff, I'm talking to myself, honestly. Honestly. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I don't even listen to myself. Oh, shit.
Right.
So,
and then Marianne said things will be good when he's gone, but then what happens? And those are the things that get you into a rabbit hole that isn't mentally healthy. Right? But then what? And then what?
Well, a better question is, what are you doing?
Like straight up, and you are high on your own cortisol. So you keep that level up as much as you can, because you're getting stoned off your own cortisol and finding that stuff. This is about reducing it. And how do you even start doing that? Potato chips.
We're on the potato chips again. I don't know.
Mash, croquettes, doesn't matter. Tots.
Michael made duck fries today, and it changed my whole attitude. I was very happy after that. Good duck fries.
Your serotonin saint is the potato. Giblets knows, you look like a potato. So, enjoy yourself some of that. Relatively innocuous, unless you eat the whole bag. I did that in over 2 days this week.
I can't. You can't just eat one. I mean, seriously. Come on.
Half a bag. Like, I got really close that first dose, and then I'm like, no, stop. Save it for tomorrow. And I finished it the next day. I'm like, this is good. If you don't want to put something in a, toaster, in a air fryer, your oven, and chips. It's going to work, you guys. It's almost 7:00. Jibs is fine, Jen. Thanks for acknowledging him. He's got a couple of hot spots on his skin and his butt. We are going to do timeout with giblets tomorrow, but probably not till after I get home from work. I think it's just too dark still. After daylight savings time, maybe we can pull it together.
So I want to make a comment here on a comment. Jen Lynn says she's loving her 60s. The filter is off my Aries mouth. And my question to Jen Lynn would be, what filter, Jen? I love you.
Yes. Yeah.
We should definitely have Jen on so she can talk about all her Aries. We'll have her when there's the Aries Palooza going through. When
Yeah,
all those
Jen,
guys are in
I
Aries.
don't want to put you on the spot, but yeah, when Aries Palooza comes in, we need your subjective, what you're going through kind of thing. Because,
Subject. We need her subjective and we can be objective.
and we could tell you, and I have to say this as a final kind of thing, that after learning astrology, as I'm learning it, I'm appreciating that everything is temporary. Okay. I would not have gotten through what when my kid was transitioning and all that stuff without the astrology going, I know this is temporary. I know this is going to change. I know Mercury is going to go direct. All that stuff really helped me give it a goal, a timeline that we know these patterns repeat themselves. We're like, we've been here before, but we know it's going to end also. And it's temporary.
And we're small, despite the fact that the people running the gig down there aren't smarter, we are. We're more awake and we're more aware and we understand that we have the power of co-creation. So let's start getting down to co-creating the world we want to live in. My mantra for the rest of my days, likely.
Yep. And do it. Like, actually do, like, do the work. Like, if somebody's having, you know, there are so many things that you can do that are so easy. Just smile at people.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's all
Yeah,
you gotta do.
every day is an opportunity to to work the divine plan, to be open to the divine plan, to be a card carrying member of the divine plan. We're
You'd
good.
be surprised how you turn people around, or how when you just are smiling and
Oh, it's
saying no.
huge, especially now. That's what people need. People need. I remember when it was COVID, the hardest thing was not being able to touch another human being.
Yeah.
And there was a point where I grabbed money from the I went and got beer. You know, you need some medicine, right? And I grabbed the money from, I gave the guy the money and he touched my finger and it was like electricity. Because besides my husband and my mother, no one had touched me for like 2 months. And it was so wild that like I touched a stranger. It was like electrical.
I
So
think
we
she
kind of
froze
need
out. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I know. I know. The one thing I liked about wearing masks was you could MF people, blah, 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 and they wouldn't even know you were talking to yourself, or or yelling or talking about them, or you could just do that. Then you can't get used to doing that. A smile does change everything, Spirit Woman. I have a lot of patients who have dementia. I have a lot of patients who don't speak English. That's my language to them. You're okay, right? And we love you guys, and you're all okay, and it's going to be okay.
we're going to be okay. We'll send some protection over the people of Iran and the soldiers that are involved that might don't even want to be involved, but they're doing their duty. They do their duty, we'll do our duty.
Yeah. All righty, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you this week.
Yes, we will.
More moonshine also, and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Be interesting.
Bye, everyone.